Hey guys, Colton here from the Eevee Kingdom, and it's been a while since I made a video. Oh, and I also mentioned I was gonna be making this video earlier, but never really got around to it. Anyways, I also have to wait for, well, later on in the day to post these. Well, start these. Anyways, he's, I hope you all have been well, and I have big news. Yes, I already mentioned I was gonna do a project before, but this one is kind of gonna be different since it's gonna be practice for that Sonic one, on which I will possibly get in the future. Anyways, I'm doing a brand new long-term what if. Now, before anything, I am not gonna be replacing any of the other what ifs with this one. This one's gonna be posted and every so often whenever I feel like, well, this one will be posted whenever the time comes. And will be a work in progress along with some of the other ones. I may take time. I'm off those ones, but who knows? And by time off, I mean I'm just gonna pause those what ifs for a little bit and then switch to another. Well, to focus on this one, or I'll focus on those ones and give more time for me to think on this one. Anyways, this one I also have been working on for a while, but a lot longer than the other idea I had that I'm still working on. Anyways, this is a Ruby Pokemon crossover. I've been meaning to do this for a long while. But this one I have a lot of rules I'm going to be putting into fruition. Also, this picture I'm showing right now is just a concept. Yep, none of these Pokemon will be on Ruby's actual team. Also, I don't own the art, so go to the artist. I think I found this one on something. I don't remember the website. And I may put it in the description of this video or in the comments if I remember. But anyways, yeah, I have a lot of rules for this one, and it's gonna be a big thing. For instance, the first thing is I'm gonna be labeling everything on perspectives. So let's say I have Team Ruby split up in one, and have their journey simultaneously. So, let's say I have Yang and Ruby in one area, and Blank and White's in another. Each video will be labeled either Ruby and Yang or Blank and White, depending on whose perspective I'm gonna be focusing on in that part. Alright. And second, I'm going to be making sure their teams are very different from what people would normally pick for them. Not because I'm against it, it's more of I'm limiting myself to one region. So if I say I'm gonna have everything happen in the Alola region, I'm not gonna be putting Pokemon like Meowscarada in a Alolan themed world. Sorry. Ready for that? But yeah, I'm not gonna just give them teams with every Pokemon in mind. I want this to be more specific and also a little bit more creative, if as well on my part. So limiting myself to one region is gonna be my main focus. Also, I'm gonna be keeping the story strictly Pokemon and limiting the Pokemon context to games and manga. Manga will make more sense when I get to the series. And no, I'm not going to include anime logic, otherwise things will not go smoothly. Also, for big context, I'm just going to go over, well, I'm not going to make it Ruby themed either. So it's just going to be some Ruby characters participating in the Pokemon universe. Anyways, before I continue with that, I have a video, well, it's a short video I recorded for my phone about their teams, so please take a look at this. You're up past me. Okay, I already started some of the workout. Well, yeah, sorry. I've already started some of the team building with everyone. I'm mostly gonna go over Team Ruby right now because they're gonna be the prime focus. Now, as I already said, I'm going to still have some other Ruby characters in it, but it's not a full-on Ruby story focus, especially with how I'll write the story, but I'll get to that in another video, hopefully. Anyways, first off the main leader herself, Ruby. Also, sorry for the U looking like a W. I just wrote it that way and tried to erase it, and it, well, didn't do well. Well, I didn't do a good job. Right now I have Badoo and Yamper. And that's gonna be at the start of the series. Keep in mind, they're gonna have at their final teams in the end. I have everything written down. I didn't finish their teams because I'm still in the middle of figuring out some team members. Especially since I don't have my other book where I did write team members for them. My bad. Also, yes, I'm giving Ruby a Yamper. It's gonna have story relevance, so as I already mentioned, I'm giving Pokemon a pass, and this is gonna be one of those passes for them. Plus, Zwei is a corgi. Yeah, I think. I don't know what Zwei is, honestly. But still, this is the closest Zwei looking Pokemon there. So, well, Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. So, you really can't go. So, if you're gonna give Ruby a Zwei related Pokemon, you have to go Yamper. Anyways, Yang will have a Riolu and Tepig. I'll get to the Tepig in the story. Wait, Riolu just makes sense to me. Weiss will have a Eevee. Later on, it will be a Glaceon. I mean, that's pretty obvious. And a Pawniard. Alright, which also has story relevancy. And why she has it at the beginning. Now, I'm still in the middle looking through the Pokemon on list for the region I'm gonna go with, and I'm probably already mentioning it. I'm doing this part beforehand, so if I mention it, then okay. Hey, if I didn't, I'm gonna be focusing on the Black and White 2 story because that story just makes more sense in my head, and it fits Ruby's theme a little bit. Especially for a few characters. I'll get to that in the actual story. But I'm honestly in the middle of debating on whether or not to let Weiss have a Snivy, which will evolve into a superior, or I can guarantee that much. I bring this part up because as I was in the middle looking through Pokédex entries, he's specifically for the Black and White 2 era. And it does mention about being a royal type Pokemon. And we all know Weiss and the Sneeze. It kind of fits its personality-wise a little bit. But I'm debating on whether or not to actually go through with it. So let me know in the comments down below if you would be okay with me giving her Snivy. Yeah, I'm not trying to give every member of Team Ruby a starter Pokemon. That would just be counterproductive, counterintuitive. Yeah. No, not the time, Colton. But yeah, I don't want to give each member of Team Ruby a starter Pokemon because it just doesn't make sense to me. There's only 3 starters you get given, and lore-wise, it wouldn't make sense for all 4 members of Team RWBY to get starters. Tepig makes sense due to the firefighting type, and I'm giving it to Yang because of that. Well, at least she has a Pokédex entry, reasoning for it. And the Pokemon does have Royal in its description. And Blake with a Purloin because why not? I mean, she is a cat. This does actually have plot relevance too, but that's not going to be a big part until later on in the series. But with that, that's basically all the Pokemon I have currently for each of their team members. Now, I'm going to fill all this in later on when I have more ideas on what Pokemon they're going to have. And I will also be making moves for each and every one of them. By that, I mean I'm going to give each Pokemon they have a full set of moves or almost a full set of moves. And yes, I'm going to kind of do what Let's Go did, and some of them may have 3, but that's honestly depending on what I think. But for the most part, I'm going to give them all 4 moves. As I said in that, the teams aren't finalized yet, and I'm going to be thorough with what I think. Point is, I'm going to think through their teams, figure out which one fits them thematically, and if I can, and get any suggestions from you guys, I'd appreciate it. Anyways, before I end off this video, I do want to mention this is going to be more story-based, and even if I figure some things out on the team compositions, don't expect them to be professional or built. I'm just doing this for fun. So competitive-wise, don't expect much. And yeah, I'm just gonna be saying this right now. I'm just gonna place this in a universe where Osmond got all the relics in the brothers game. And Osmond wanted to take everyone away from there due to Salem. And they got sent to the Pokemon universe. That's just gonna be the main thing, so yeah. Anyways, I'm also planning on doing a prologue for this, so it's gonna be a short or mini what if I think. Maybe a normal length, just more detailed. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a prologue where I'm going over Ruby, Yang, Blake, and Weiss. Not necessarily in that order, but I'm gonna be focusing on them before they get there. And a big thing, they're not gonna be their normal ages. Not because of anything else, it's just Pokemon on the main consensus is when you're 10 years old, you go out on an adventure. So it wouldn't make sense for them to be 18 and Ruby 16 and just now going to Pokemon school. Well, by that point, they should have already had a full team in Pokemon, in the sense of Pokemon. So I'm just altering their age a little bit to make it fit narratively. But yeah, I have a lot of ideas for this, and I'm currently in the middle of working on the first part, or after the prologue. Now, I'm gonna be writing down their teams before I start recording, and I'm gonna be planning it out beforehand. So right now I'm assuming, and with everything going on, I'm gonna say this might be my longest What If series whatsoever, or that I've done so far. I'm gonna assume about 15 parts. 10 at minimum, 20 at most. And maybe I'll get lower, but I'm doubting it's gonna be lower than in the 10 digits. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Well, if you have any suggestions for the what if crossover, let me know. And as I believe I mentioned in the small video, again, I made it in the past earlier this month, so I don't fully remember everything I said, and I'm not rewatching it right now for the voiceover. But I do believe I said I'm sticking to Black and White 2, for the story. So I'm gonna be mostly focused on that. Now, does that mean I'm gonna follow the game story step by step? Not necessarily. Yeah. It's gonna be similar to how the anime or manga portrays these things, and I'm allowed to alter some things if need be. And for everyone who's played Black and White 2, no, I'm not gonna include the Pokestar Studio bit. Maybe later on as a side thing, but it's not gonna be a main and primary focus. I think. I'm still in the middle of part 1. Okay? So give me some slack. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm so you never miss. It's been a while since I did my outro. Oh, sorry. Anyways, remember to like the video, if you enjoy. Subscribe so you never miss another video. Comment anything. I read the comments every time. I may not reply. But that's either I'm busy or I don't know what to say. And share it so you can spread the word. And okay, I really need to catch up on some of my older outros. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!